Dr. Henry. I'm Lew Xin Yee. Today I'm going to present the research project which the title is the construction cost affecting the housing price in Malaysian real estate market, and my student number is 18090023. First of all, about the research background, a house is an essential requirement to the human. Since the prehistoric times, homes has become an important element to the basic needs beside the food and the water. Nowadays, a house can become an indicator to measure the degree of the person's wealth and life. A house has become a long-term investment to many house owners. So the normal criteria in buying a new home is comfort and having the basic amenities such as school, retail store, and so on. So nowadays, a house is very important for everyone. So the housing price is something that affects people at some point of their life. It is important to realize how the price are determined and what effect they have on the people. So affordable home is one of the essential requirements for the people. Affordability plays a central role in the house ownership, increase the equity and the nation's economic stability. A central concern is that if a house price continue to increase, this may result undercut the affordability of the home ownership. So as such, it's essential to identify which price factor are making the house and the home ownership less affordability. So the relationship between the house price and this graph is showing that the housing price in Malaysia have gone through the drastic price appreciations from the index of 93.4 in year 1999 to 230.1 in year 1914. As shown by this figure according to the statistic done by the NAPIC. So the housing price in Malaysia as shown by the Malaysian Housing Price Index has increased steadily since year 1999, and the housing price index doubled when it reached 2000 in year 2014. So the positive housing price index changed from the years 1999 and to the year 2014 also indicate that the housing price was keep growing. So for the problem statement of the research project, the first one is the populations. Population is one of the factors that affecting the housing price. The main reason of buying the house in the area is due to the working place, cheaper rental, and the convenience and the facilities. So better facilities and the environment which will attract more people move to the area, which lead to increase the housing price of the Malaysians. Total populations is living in the city. So and become an urban societies in the period 1995 and to 2005, there are 68.8% of the internal migrations in the Malaysia due to the rapid transforming into the urban societies. The demands for the housings in the city is continuously increased. So the rapid increasing of the populations lead to the increasing on the housing demand in the market in the future. So the second one of the problem statement, which is the housing speculations. The housing speculation will affect the housing price in Malaysia due to the positive speculations on the housing. It will lead to increase the housing price. Increase in the vacancies, increase in the mortgage rate, and increase in the residential investment. It is the change of the expectations about the future house price by the homeowner and housing investor. So the active speculations in the market will direct increase the price of the housing in the area due to the expectations of the investor in the market. After that, the problem statement, which are the construction costs, will affect the housing price, which have the material, labels, and the land cost. So So the material price is the highest financial root in any construction industry. Associated with the rise of the material productions and the processing price, contractor nothing more should afford the risk of the material price and force them rising the selling price of their finished unit. So the high profile good site land is the area are able to be developed toward the high class, elegance and the leisure housing property, which has significant rise in the demand recently. So Malaysia construction sector is facing the shortage of the skilled labor force and foreign labor source in the market. This is due to the large variety of the demand against the supply and the attitude of the Malaysians young generations. So nowadays show that they are not interested in the construction work. Therefore, increase the price of the material and shortage of the labor and the land will affecting the housing price. Besides then, the construction costs including the building materials, machinery rental rate, equipment rental rate, and the material price factor also is included in the problem statement. So construction costs has seen a continual rise due cost of the material and the usage of the plant and the machinery. Those costs are having a significant impact on the value of not only new constructions but existing housing as well. Because of it costs more to build, the replacement costs also increase. Though cost increase come as many construction firms are already grappling with the shortage of the skill of the labor but have a limited ability to increase the price of their service. There are a lot of the factors affecting housing price in the problem statement, but in this research project we mainly discussing about the construction cost, which is including the building materials, machinery rental rate, equipment rental rate, and the material price factor. After that, my research graph is the previous research focused on other factors that affecting the housing price, but not very details in the construction cost affecting housing price. The previous research as I searched in the internet, which are all of the factors, they are discussing all of the factors affecting the housing price, but no one very details in the construction cost. So my research aim is to study the construction cost affecting the housing price in Malaysian real estate market. So which are including this one is the important main factor that I do in my research project. So this is my research objective, which I have 3 research objectives, which is to determine the construction cost affecting the housing price increase in the Malaysia, and I also to investigate the most important part affecting the housing price increase in the Malaysia. And both of this one is using the questionnaire, which is use the SPSF and the Google form. So the lastly is the research objective is to propose a conceptual model for the construction cost affecting the housing price increase. So next, the scope and the limitations which I face is the construction cost of the housing. So my research project is only in the Malaysian real estate market and is related to the housing price in Malaysia only. So the limitation is the time frames only in 2 months. We have to complete everything, and we're using the sampling size of the 100 respondents only. So according to the Andersons and the Gerbing 19 and 84. So other than that, this one the scope is the research only for the developers, contractors, and the engineers. So the research significance is to only for the developers and the quantity surveyors in the knowledge of the construction cost, and the buyers can in knowledge of the factor that affecting the housing price in Malaysia. So the literature review, this is my conception framework of the literature review. So there are 4 internal factors, which are the building materials and the machinery rental rate, equipment rental rate, and the material price factor, which is affecting to the housing price increase. So there are a lot, like 26 items of the external factor, and which are the external factor affecting the building material, which are the brick, pellet, BRC, the steel reinforcement, river sand, cement, and the low tension raw iron. So the external factor which of the machinery rental rate, which are the hydraulic excavators, which the brand is Hitachi, and the mobile crane, with the salt compactor, and the bulldozer, and the last one lorry. So the external factor of the equipment rental rate, which are the concrete mixer, power tower, concrete generator, and the brand is Yoko, and the refractory plant compactor, and the concrete cooler, and the last one is the fuel generator set. The brand is Yamaha. And the equipment, and the last one, the material price factor. The external factor, which are increase the fuel price, increase the production cost, the high demand, the price manipulations, ceiling, and the simultaneous demands, the high interest on the loan, and the increased import cost, and the supplier management cost, and the last one is the sustainable material. All of the item of the external cost, which are total is 26 items. So for the research design, we are using the descriptive for the quantities surveyors, and this construct to the 3 sections, which the section A is the demographic factor, and the section B is the internal factor, which related to the construction cost, and the section C is the external factor, also related to the construction cost, which are the the construction framework. So other than that, the stamping technique, we are using the non-probability sampling, which is the convenience sampling, and is an individual who happens to the most accessible to the researcher. So this is an easy and inexpensive way to gather the initial data, but there is no way to tell if the sampler is representative of the population, so it can't produce the generative result. So the validity and the reliability. The construct validity is the extent to which truth measure underlying the construct. So the convergence validity, we are using for the reliability statistic, we are using the compa alpha, which the produces the output has an overall row, the alpha of the 0.77, which is the good, considering that 0.7 is the cut-off value for being the acceptable, which means the good result lah. So for my reliability statistic, I'm using the construct alpha is 0.893, and the compression alpha is 0.891, so it's considered as a good result lah. So the case for this is the case of the processing summary. So for my conclusion and the recommendation for my research project, and recommend to the future researcher can do qualitative research on the housing price in Malaysian real estate market, and the future researchers can focus on other factors that affecting the housing price, and research on other factors that increase the construction cost. So here is the sample of my reference, and thank you for my research project presentation.